ذلك الكتاب لا ريب فيه.
He would recite while standing, while sitting, while lying down, while a state of ritual purity, having performed ablution in a state of ritual impurity, but not whilst he was junub. He would recite it in a clear, pleasant tone, and sometimes he would cause his voice to reverberate. Ibn al-Mughaffal reported that he made it reverberate 3 times. Thus, this was reported by al-Bukhari. When this is combined with the word of the Prophet ﷺ, beautifying the Qur'an with your voices, and his words, Allah does not listen to a prophet as he listens to a prophet who recites the Qur'an in a pleasant tone. One can see that this reverberation was deliberate on his part, not due to the shaking of his Sheikh. If it were not the case, Ibn al-Mughaffal would not have reported that it was voluntary, in order that he emulated, for he said he used to cause his voice to reverberate during his recitation, and reciting pleasantly and slowly.
Okay. طيب بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على أشرف الأنبياء والمرسلين نبينا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين. Okay, we will complete this chapter, and we have spoken about various issues regarding reciting Qur'an and regarding the rituals of the Qur'an. A few things are left. For example, among the things that are left is reciting Qur'an in a standing position, in a sitting position, in walking position. It has been reported that the Prophet ﷺ used to remember Allah Jalla wa Ala on all his situations. And Hadith Ali bin Abi Talib also says that the Prophet ﷺ used to recite Qur'an on all his situations. Nothing stops him actually, or maybe it is a better translation, nothing stops him from Qur'an except janaba. Okay, and from these ahadith the scholars took that it is acceptable at least to recite Qur'an in all positions, while standing, while sitting, while lying down. They discussed 2 issues: reciting Qur'an while walking and reciting Qur'an lying down. Lying down, the main problem for reciting Qur'an in these 2 positions is the fact that it might not give Qur'an its due respect. While walking, okay, the person normally is not in a state of humbleness or a state of reflection. While lying down, okay, it is not that state as well. However, okay, a discussion between the scholars about this. While lying down, they said that the Prophet ﷺ, you know the hadith that he used to recite, or he taught us to recite what? سورة آية الكرسي إذا أخذتما مضيعكما، حديث علي بن أبي طالب عن فاطمة. طيب okay, فاحمد الله وسبح الله وكبر الله 33. In one of the riwayat, okay, recites آية الكرسي. Okay, so they said it is likely that the person is lying down and then he recites Ayat al-Kursi. Okay. We say, inshallah, that is not a problem. Ibn al-Qayyim mentioned that the person can recite Qur'an while he is lying down, and that is not a problem. While walking, some scholars had the conservation regarding that, and they said while walking, it does not give Qur'an its due respect, nor you can reflect on it. Yeah? But we say that, yeah, this is a logical or a rational dalil. The normally rational adilla cannot stand for clear prohibition. Okay? So we can say someone can recite Quran while walking. Yeah? Can. And he will try to give Quran its due respect and try to contemplate on that, inshallah. Then the other discussion is reciting Quran in the state of impurity. There are many things to be discussed here, maybe as you know, and a long discussion, but we will try to brief it, inshallah. First of all, reciting, we have two things: reciting Quran in a state of impurity and touching Quran in a state of impurity. Yeah? Two things. Reciting Quran in a state of impurity, we say that the impurity are of different types. First of all, the minor impurity, the major impurity. The minor impurity is something shared by females and males. حدث أصغر. Someone does not have wudu. You know that there is a long discussion between scholars about this issue. However, maybe you know that, okay, reciting Quran from memory without touching the Quran, right? Most of the scholars agree on it. Yeah? Reciting Quran in a state of impurity without touching it, most of the scholars agree on it. I don't remember of any specific scholar who said that it is not allowed. Minor. Yes, minor impurity. Okay? Minor impurity. And they mentioned number of ahadith. First of all, this hadith Ali bin Abi Talib, that the Prophet ﷺ never stopped him from the Quran except the state of janaba. And in one of the narrations, Ali bin Abi Talib, he relieved himself and then he left. He was with some of his companions, and then after that he recited Quran, okay, from his memory, and he recited number of verses, and then they say to him, why do you do that? He said the Prophet ﷺ recited Quran in a state of impurity, so there is nothing wrong with that. In one narration he said that the Prophet ﷺ never stopped him from reciting Quran except the state of janabah. So this is reciting Quran in this state, okay, the state of impurity, minor one. Now, reciting Quran again from memory in the state of impurity, major state of impurity. We have two things, the janaba and the hayd, okay? Maybe you have read that the scholars are discussed this thoroughly, and there is a long discussion. First of all, the jumhur, most of the scholars agree that reciting Quran should be prohibited for anyone who is in a state of major impurity. Yeah? Whether hayd or janabah. Yeah? حيض the state of a woman in her menses, during her menses, and janaba, the sexual, okay, major impurity. So they said that the person should not recite Quran in such a status. And the adilla here, the adilla comes. طيب. The adilla comes.